Welcome to the channel, Jaden Chase. Now, the DPP is urging Noel Maitland and others who have their cases before the courts who know they are guilty to plead guilty. The DPP was quoted as saying that she and her staff have to speak to the defendant's lawyers to point out that if Maitland takes this to trial and is found guilty, he could be facing more than 40 years in prison. However, if he pled guilty, then he could receive life imprisonment starting at 30 years and perhaps become eligible for parole, perhaps. And with the amount of evidence against Maitland in this particular case, some would say the best thing to do is to just confess. Now, she was also quoted as saying there's a backlog at the court. So to a certain extent, she and her team have to seek to dispose some of these cases by inviting or persuading, not coercing, because they have to be fair and very professional, but inviting the defendants to plead guilty, because if they know they have done it, then they should plead guilty. But she was also quoted as saying Jamaicans have a bust the case mentality, but that she is pleased to say that more and more attorneys are engaging with the DPP and her office in trying to work out some plea arrangement. It seems as if Maitland and his attorneys are strongly considering a confession and a guilty plea. And it seems as if the DPP and her office is also strongly putting this forward, saying that this is the best move for Maitland and other offenders or other accused. Now talk to me. Does this not seem like the best option for the accused, seeing the amount of evidence against him? Seeing that this is a case that the nation is paying attention to. The nation's attention is fixed on this case. And basically the DPP saying that a case like this is basically a waste of the court's time for trying to prove what the evidence is obviously pointing to. Blood splattering in the apartment, witness statements, testimony from neighbors, blood spatter matching Donna Donaldson's DNA after Sophia Lug, her mother, gave law enforcement a toothbrush so that them could have cross-reference the DNA. The DPP are bringing forward new charges preventing lawful burial. At this point, defense attorneys must assert to them clients to the amount of evidence where the prosecutors have, the fact that they can't get bail, more than likely a guilty plea. But as the prosecutor pointed out, some Jamaicans have a bust the case mentality that even whether or not guilty or not, their aim is to try to be freed. And at this point, since the murder trial has not yet begun, Maitland still have the opportunity, if I know him, to tell law enforcement who do it. Him still have the opportunity. Him can tell him lawyers, say he want a meeting with the prosecutors, and him can tell him actually no, since he must say, and him, and he did not perpetrate the criminal act. I won't know initially, whole heap of people did I hope say, and never him do it. And it actually just a cover up for somebody else. Especially when they mean about all of what Donna do for him. And the fact that they were together. But what the evidence I point to, and him refusing to say nobody else was involved. Him admitting that there was an argument before he was seen exiting the apartment alone. Them going together. And him come out alone. And then him come out with a couch. And of course the leading theory is that the couch was used to transport Donnelly's body. One thing for sure though, the accused takes this to trial and is found guilty, the state will be setting an example. And that's what the DPP point out. That the best move for Maitland and certain of the accused is for just plead guilty, get a life sentence, and hopefully be eligible for parole at like 30 years. Some would also say the way detectives described Maitland's cooperation during the investigation, there was no remorse because all of the helpful information that helped the case progress came from outside sources. Now, they are saying that this was an individual who was innocent, but they don't want to know who actually do this to him woman. And they want justice for him woman. He would have tried to help the case. Him being a member of law enforcement and know exactly how he go. Remember, his attorneys pointed out that for 13 years, the accused was a part of the security forces. So him know how investigation go. He knows if the investigation progress, you need information from those who know what go on. And after being seen on CCTV footage taking the coach to the car wash, being heard in a conversation talking to the truck driver about said car wash and the said investigation we are going, him telling the truck driver to remain calm. Or the truck driver seemed to be so uneasy about what going on. And all him doing, I carry the coach. The coach left from this individual's house. A female woman, she missing. And him a tell the driver to remain calm. The driver should have tell him to remain calm. Something right? After neighbors bring forward the video evidence and the testimony that the accused wanted the neighbor to delete the video, saying it might affect in promotion within the ranks of law enforcement because he might have been seen smoking, which was just another attempt to continue the cover-up, to further the cover-up. And maybe that is why him did go about it the way him do it. Him know about the camera them on the compound. Him lived there for years. That's why the whole coach come into play and I guess all of this and that. Now with some saying the truck driver is also in witness protection. And with part of that conversation seemingly heading towards the accused either asking to meet up with the driver again or to have him do another work. Which the driver then said no. Say that he don't want to be a part of nothing where the accused have going on. See that he move something for him and law enforcement come take away him truck. We can't overlook what the car wash attendant I say. We actually wash out the coach with the power wash. You have a point out say a car wash is located right beside the complex. But the accused brought the coach somewhere else. You know, look good. And when the prosecutors put out the evidence like this, and then we look at it like this, you know, look good. Just not look good. Talk to me in the comment section. Tell me what you think. The DPP saying the accused and others like him should just plead guilty and stop putting a burden on the court and actually think about the fact that when them take it to trial and get found guilty at 40 years, you don't know when they might get eligible for parole. When them plead guilty, they might get life in prison and them can get eligible for parole within 30 years. At this point, the senseless crime and violence need to stop on the island. The people need to say how them can move the island forward, how them can uplift the country. And this is clear proof that senseless violent crime and violence, nobody no win. The family I got through a situation, him they behind the bars. I still not locate Donna dancing. I not say what kind of argument them could have. It couldn't worth it. It is not justified. Talk to me in the comment section if you agree. Drop a like on the video if you agree. If you're new to the channel, click the subscribe icon, then the bell icon, and of course put it on all. And this is how you know you'll be notified of all fresh content as soon as fresh content is uploaded and made available for you. Now until the reason again, live, love, and prosper. And of course, stay tuned.